The spread RPO QB run heavy offense is one of the most frustrating schemes to play against in Madden 24. So I wanted to create an incredible one that is based around a real college football offense, and it is called the spread to run. And this scheme has been used by some of the best offenses we have seen over the past 15 years. Some of the squads that use this style were the Chip Kelly-led Oregon Ducks, the Trevor Lawrence National Championship winning Clemson Tigers, and the super dynamic and explosive West Virginia Mountaineers led by their QB Pat White and coached by Rich Rodriguez. Then this is actually all part of a bigger scheme I'm creating where I break down 4 schemes that are all different variations of the college football spread offense that have taken over the sport, and I'm calling it the ultimate NCAA spread offense. Then each of these 4 schemes will be run out of the Spread Playbook so they can all be combined and used together into one giant scheme, and the playlist for the whole offense will be down in the description below. Now here we're going to break down the formations and run game for this spread to run offense that we will be running. Now the first type of formations these spread to run offenses love are your classic 2x2 spread sets. For ours we'll be using doubles Y flex offset. Now these looks allow teams to force defenses to spread out to match the offense, or you can easily just get the ball out on the edges for easy yards. Then when defenses spread out, it makes it much easier to read what coverage they are in, or if they might be blitzing, really simplifying the reads for the quarterback, making it much easier to throw the ball. Now the run play we are breaking down in this formation is RPO read double screen. This play has 4 options that forces defense to spread out, or you can just attack the edges over and over for huge pickups. For this play, I like to have the bubble to the wide side, and the first thing on this play is if the D doesn't spread out and have players way out over both the hitch and the bubble, then after the snap, you can just fire the ball out to either side of the field and let one of your playmakers make a play in the open field. Then if the defense does spread out, we want to run the ball. So after the snap, read the R defender, and if he stays back on the QB, then hand this ball off and your running back should be able to get downhill for some nice yards. But then if the R player crashes down on the running back, that will leave a big opening to the outside for your QB to get into the open field and make some plays with his legs. Now in these spread to run offenses, these bubble screens and quick hitting RPOs along with read option runs were the backbone to the whole offense's run games, and once you perfect these plays, you are going to be so tough to stop. Next we have our doubles formations, and these have a slot and wide out to one side, then a tight end and a wide receiver to the other, and the version we're going to be using is doubles offset weak. These formations allow for a little bit more balance and power with the tight end on the field, giving you another really good blocker who can open up some big holes in the run game. And with this formation, we also have this unique tight end motion where he can line up in this H-back spot behind the O-line, and this can really just open him up for some really big, unique plays down the field. The run play we're going to use in this formation is the O1 trap, and this is a super simple run, but can be a very effective addition to pick up big gains with your running back. For this, I like to have my 2 wide receiver side to the wide side, and I want to run this ball when they have both safeties back. This should give us the numbers advantage on this play, and we're going to have a guard pulling across the formation, and you want to run with patience, let him engage, and as soon as he does, explode out from behind him, and you can get your athletic running back into the open where he can make some plays with the ball in his hands. Then another formation type we're going to be using is called having an unbalanced line. This is super unique and will actually have us line up with one of our tackles to the opposite side of the field. So it'll be center with one guard beside him, then the other side of the ball it will go guard, tackle, tackle, and the formation we are using is called tackle over trips. This can really mess with defensive fronts and make it much easier to run the ball to that overloaded side. Then we also have a really good RPO in this formation that is going to be super tough to stop, and then we have passes to really push the ball down the field. The run in this formation is going to be RPO bubble Y pop, and this gives us 3 great options on this play that all attack different areas of the field, making it super difficult to stop. So the first aspect of this play is the bubble, and if pre-snap they don't have someone out over the top of the bubble, or if the player jumps down after the snap, then right after you snap the ball you can just fire it out to him. We're going to have a one-on-one block on the outside, and this will give us lots of room to run with our receiver. Then if that's not there pre-snap, look inside and we want to read the linebackers, and if at the snap they stay down and are playing the run, then we have this tight end pop pass shooting up field, and we can just fire this up the seam for a really big play in behind those linebackers. Then lastly, if you're watching the linebackers and they stay back over that pop pass, then you can just hand this ball off, and now with the linebackers playing that pass, they should open up some really big running lanes for your running back to attack, and now you can just be super dangerous in the open field. These type of pop passes and RPOs are the staple of the spread to run system, and these are all about putting a linebacker linebacker in a no-win situation where no matter what, he will be wrong and the offense can pick up big yards. Then our fourth formation is going to be a shotgun trips look with trio offset. This is another common look for these spread to run offenses that lets them overload one side of the field with 3 receivers so they can fire out quick screens and quick hitters to the edge, but then the trips receiver side gives them some really nice and unique route combos that they can use to push the ball down the field. The run we are looking at in this formation is RPO read bubble, and I like to run this with the trips to the wide side. And now first I want to look to that trip side, and if pre-snap they load up the middle and we outnumber them on the edge, then after the snap we can just throw this bubble to the outside where we should have the numbers advantage and be able to pick up some big yardage. Or if before the snap they have enough players out there, but after the snap if those players jump down on the run, then we can just drop this bubble in behind them and you can get some nice yards on the edge. Then lastly we have this read option, so if the bubble is covered then we want to read the R defender, and if he plays the QB you can just hand this ball off, but if he crashes down then we can just keep the ball with the QB, get into the open field where we can get some really nice pickups. Now in these spread to run offenses, the drop back pass game really consists with a lot of classic spread passing concepts. The goal here is to spread the defense out, and if they start to bring more men into the box to start to try to take away our really strong run game, then this is going to open up a ton of passing options down the field. And a ton of this passing game is going to work the middle of the field specifically, and this is where 2 of the best college QBs ever that played in this spread to run system really dominated, with Trevor Lawrence at Clemson and Marcus Mariota at Oregon. They would get linebackers and safeties cheating to stop the run, and then they could just make them pay with their super accurate pinpoint passes over the middle of the field. So the first spread passing concept we are looking at is fork wheel, and this gives us 4 really good options on this play that attack each level of the field versus zone coverage. To set this up, come with your slot wheel to the short side of the field, then take your wide side wide receiver and put them on a streak, and that is the whole setup. Now to the wide side we have this deep corner route with a clear out route from the wide out, and this works great against any zone where they don't have zone drop set, because if that flat defender stays shallow at all you can just drop this in over his head for a big gain. Now after that we also have the short side of the field where we're going to have 3 options, and first we have this deep post, and if the user leaves the middle of the field or stays shallow, this post will cut in behind him and stay in front of those deep blue defenders in the middle, and you can hit him down the field for some big pickups. Then we also have a wheel route on this play that is going to get in behind the flat defender, and if the deep blue defender on this play gets pushed back by that Z post, now this should open up a really nice pocket that you can drop this ball in along the sideline, and you just want to make sure you pass lead it away from that deep blue defender. Then for the check down option on this play we have the running back, and if everything is covered deep then just drop it down to him and let him make a play in the open field. The next play we're looking at is a very good man beater that gives us 4 options that each attack different areas of the field, and this is a great way to shred those man coverage looks, and the play is PA read. To set this up, come out with your tight end to the left side of the field always. In this formation if he's out on the right it actually won't let you hot route your tight end. So take this tight end, make sure he's on the left, and put him on a corner route. Now if you don't have hot route master, just put him on an out route to the sideline. Then you can take your outside receiver that's on the left side of the field and put him on a whip and just motion him all the way across the field, and then we can snap it when he gets to the other side. Now the first thing you want to do is check the safeties, and if they have safeties over the top then we want to look to that tight end corner route, and as he breaks out he should get really nice separation along the sideline and you can drop this in for a nice pickup. Then if post snap you see they have no deep safeties over the top, we want to look inside to the slot post route, and if he separates off his one-on-one and they have no deep safety help over the top, then you can bomb them deep, and this can be just a huge massive gain against these man defensive looks. Then for our next option on this play, if the user leaves the middle to help take away the corner route and they have deep safety help over the post route, then we can look to the middle of the field where we have this deep dig as a great third option on this play. Then lastly on this play we have a whip for a check down, and this is a great option if they're bringing a blitz or if everything is covered deep, then you can just fire down to the whip as he breaks out to the sideline for a really nice 4th option. Then if you want to take this offense to the next level, you need to check out my website Scheme Kings. Up right now is part 2 of this video where I will give you 7 more plays for this spread to run offense that are going to give you guys so many more options to attack both man and zone coverages for some big gains. Then we're also going to include a couple more runs that is going to make this scheme even that much more dangerous. Then there'll also be a ton more videos coming for this NCAA spread offense that will be only found on the site. Then also on the site you can find my 5 other full schemes that that are out so far for Madden 24 with my Ravens attacking defense, my NFL spread offensive scheme, my Georgia Bulldogs match-based D, plus my wide zone offense and my NFL Mount Rushmore scheme. Then you can also get access to my playbooks on Scheme Kings, which are full written breakdowns for my schemes. I believe between Madden 23 and Madden 24, I have about 11 out so far, with my newest being my Ravens attacking defense that is 44 pages long, and it is going to make it so much easier to run each one of my schemes and make them that much more effective. Then starting today, we have a sale on the site. Use code SPREAD at checkout for 50% off your first month. This sale is going to run till May 12th. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I'll leave a link for it down in the description below. Then another aspect that these teams were known for were their constraint plays. These are a set of plays that work off of each other, with the first play setting something up and then the second play taking advantage of the defense when they overplay to stop it. And these are just all about putting defenses in a no-win situation where no matter what they do, they will be wrong. Now, the first part of this constraint series we're going to be looking at is RPO orbit bubble, and this is a receiver starting on one side of the field and motioning behind the QB for a bubble screen out the other way, and you can either fire it out to him or hand the ball off, and this just can be super explosive for you. To set this play up, come out with your two receiver side to the wide side of the field, then snap the ball, and your player will do this motion across the field, and you can just throw this ball out to him. He's going to have two blockers out in front, and you can just let these players engage, then fire it out from behind them and get into the open field and become a playmaker with the ball. The one key on this play is we want to keep our eye out for the user. If he stays too far inside, then this is just going to keep the throw open and you can just fire it out consistently for big yards. Now, if at the snap you see the user jump out and take this bubble, then you can just hand this ball off up the middle of the running back, and this should be open for a ton of room to make the user pay for leaving his area. The next part of this constraint series is going to be orbit PAX spot, and for this we have the same motion across the field, but now we have two vertical options that are going to get deep in behind the defense for some big gains. To set this up, come out with your two receiver side to the wide side, and then once again take that outside receiver on that side, put him on a streak, and that is the whole setup. So on this play you want to snap the ball and you will see the same motion, but we've already run our orbit bubble play, so now we want to pull the user out of the middle of the field, and when we do, now we're going to have a post replacing him, and you can just fire it into the middle for a big pickup. Then if we do the motion but the user actually stays over the middle, then we can look to the sideline to our deep corner route who's going to get in behind that flat defender, and this is a great second option on this play. Then if you run this play and they call man coverage, now both these can work very well, especially if the user leaves the middle. You can just go to whichever one is more open for a big pickup. Then the final aspect of these offenses was the use of play action and the utilization of deep shots down the field. These schemes run the ball so much that once you add some play action to the mix where you're holding down linebackers, this can open up a ton in behind them for big pickups. Then because we are running the ball a ton, what defenses will try to do is they'll bring another safety down into the box to try to stop the run. So when we see that, we want to have a great cover 3 bomb that is going to make them pay when they try to do this. The deep shot we are going to be incorporating to this offense is fake screen wheel, and this is an amazing one play touchdown against cover 3 that will hit your opponent deep over the top in a super unique way. To set this play up, come out with your trips to the wide side of the field, then take your outside receiver and put him on a drag and motion him across the field. Then as he is motioning across, put the inside slot receiver on a fade route, and that is the whole setup. Now for this play, our player we want to hit is the inside slot receiver versus cover 3, and you will see that he will get a free release up the field, and the tight end streak is going to get held in the middle by the deep blue defender, and then the outside corner is going to get pulled out by the wheel route. And as soon as you see this corner kind of stop his feet to play that wheel, we want to pass lead this inside fade route up and away from the defenders deep down the seam, and this can be a walk-in touchdown versus cover 3. Now just what you have here is going to make this spread to run offense really tough to stop, but then remember there is part 2 of this scheme up right now on Scheme Kings that is going to help take this whole offense to the next level. But then if you want a full breakdown on the idea behind this ultimate NCAA spread offense and a deep dive into the personnel we'll be using for this scheme, then you need to check out the intro video for this whole offense right here.